This year marks WTAP's 70th year in the Mid-Ohio Valley. In the spirit of celebration, we have invited some familiar faces from the past to celebrate with us. I spoke with the first ever Daybreak anchor Shelly Sindland as she remembers her time at WTAP in this week's Turning Back the Dial.
Turning Back the Dial, a look back at WTAP's 70 years. Sponsored by Marietta Community Foundation and West Virginia Central Federal Credit Union.
I went to Chernobyl. I went with there's a huge Ukrainian community here in Connecticut, and I went with them on a humanitarian mission to Chernobyl.
Shelly Sindland is a native of Hartland, Connecticut. Hired by Roger Shepard in April of 1993, Sindland got her start at WTAP after her time at startup news station WJAL in Hagerstown, Maryland.
I had applied for another job that I didn't get. And then lo and behold, another job did open up. It was the morning producer anchor. And he called me and said, I have another job open. Are you interested? That's how the door opened for me at WTAP.
Sindland began her time at WTAP as the morning update anchor and noon anchor producer. Her role at the station is also historic as she was the first ever anchor of Daybreak.
This is my mug that launched the show, the original one, and I still have it. Can you believe that? We're going back a long time. So whoever made this mug, they did a great job because it really held up. But yeah, this was the mug I used with Daybreak. I think the logo, everything's changed, but that's kind of cool. And then I moved on to the night news. I was the co-anchor of the 6 o'clock news with John Fortney.
During her time at WTAP, Sindland forged many friendships both in and out of the newsroom, with many of those relationships being lifelong.
And Amy Palcasulo, she is my dear friend. We worked together for 6 months, lifelong friendship. I was in her wedding, and I just think the world of her. We had so much fun together.
Out of all of the people Sindland met at WTAP, one of them still has a special place in her heart.
So Glenn, hold on. This is not staged. I keep this in my office because, I want to remember my time at TAP, but I also want to remember this guy. This is Glenn Wilson. He was so special. He took me under his wing and he treated me like a granddaughter. Glenn said that. He's like, Shelly's like a granddaughter to me. I will take care of her. And he really did take care of me. I knew Glenn and his wife, and I felt like I had an instant family. And I'm just so grateful that I was there when he was there.
After her time at WTAP, Sindland received a job offer from back home in Connecticut in 1995 and has had many career highlights since, from covering stories at the White House to the continuing effects of a nuclear disaster.
I went to Chernobyl. I went with there's a huge Ukrainian community here in Connecticut, and I went with them on a humanitarian mission to Chernobyl. I was in the dead zone. I was in the area that was like abandoned during the nuclear meltdown. I mean, this was 12 years later, but that was life-changing. And I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. I'm not. I'm saying it was because of the opportunities that were presented to me, in part from my time at TAP, that really helped propel my career to where it is today.
Currently, Sindland owns her own business and is looking forward to her daughter Sadie attending college.
I'm really proud of her, and I'm proud of her because she's a good person. So when she wanted to apply to West Virginia, I was really happy about that. I was like, oh.
Sindland left off with one final thank you to the community that meant so much to her.
Thank you for making me feel at home. And, I love West Virginia. I really do. I talk about you all the time. So even if you don't remember me, I want you to know that I remember you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
LV Hissam for WTAP News. This is home.